Welcome again to our lesson today. We are still continuing under sensational poems, and today we are going to look at another structure of writing poems, and that is the shape poems. We are going to begin by getting to understand what shape poems are. Now, from the word shape poems, you can see the word shape. It can give us an idea of what a shape poem is. Shape poem is a poem that is shaped like the thing it describes. This poem can be written in the shape of what it describes or inside a picture of what it describes. Now, how are you able to determine which shape to use? The shape used will always be in relation to the topic of what the poet decides to write about. If I am writing, for example, about a banana, I might shape my poem with a banana, where my writings can come either inside the banana or my words can take the shape of a banana. So what does it help us? You'll realize that when a poem is written in a certain shape, it adds the meaning to the poem, because automatically as I look at the shape, I can be able to tell what the poem is talking about. Now let us look at an example here. When you decide to write a poem about an apple, you could write it inside an outline of an apple, where you find that you have an apple, and then inside it you decide to write your words. Or you could write a short poem and make the words look like the outline of an apple. In this case, you'll find that you had prior written your poem, which is a short poem. Then now you decide to shape these words to take the shape of what you're talking about. So it means that our words here will take the shape of an apple. It's a simple way to spark creativity. Remember that as a writer, in this case a poet, you will always want to be as creative as possible, so that you may create that interest in the reader who wants to read your poem. So this is one of the ways in which you can show your creativity of your work. Now let us move forward and look at some examples of apple-shaped poems. We are going to see how a poet can use different ways to show apple-shaped poems. Look at this first picture, continuation. In this case, the writer has decided to have the words come at the end of the apple to show the outline. And if you look at those words, they have taken the shape of an apple. Let us read through it and see. Apples are juicy and have a big crunch. Apples are red and so fun to munch. Apples are tasty and perfect to take for lunch. So as I'm reading my poem, I already know that this poem is talking about an apple and maybe how good it is. Let us look at another example of a different poet who was still writing about the same concept of an apple. Look at this case. In this case, we have the outline of an apple where they drew the apple first. Then inside the apple now we see the writings of our poem. Let us read through it and see. Crispy, ripe, delicious. Keeps your tummy full and body healthy. Comes in many colors, red, yellow, and green. You can find them everywhere. Why shouldn't you eat them each and every day? Imagine if this poem was just written normally without the outline. Do you think it would have been more interesting or less interesting? Think about it. Now we want to look at a shape poem with words shaped like an apple. Here now they did not draw the apple, but we are going to see how the words can be arranged to take the shape of an apple. In this poem, the outer part is now showing us the title, Daily Dose, which shows the stalk of an apple. Then look at the words themselves of the poem. They are taking the shape of a poem. So this is also another style in which you can decide to write your shape poem. Let us go through this one and see. Daily dose. Grandma's pie. Dumplings. Fritters turned over. Nestled under crumble. Waldorf salad. Hot sauce for pork. Charlotte. Fragrant tree in a dainty glass. Baked whole. Stuffed with dates or raisins. Tart tetting. Straight from the pan. Dried toffee. Vanished fairground food. Freshly pressed. Cloudy juice. Bob beaten. It is also interesting because as we are reading, we are able to see the shape of what the poem is talking about. Now we are going to move ahead and look at the poem from our learner's book. And the poem is titled, Careful When You Pour. Look at the picture in this poem and look at the title of this poem. Are you able to see any relationship? When you look at the title, Careful When You Pour, you can already judge that this poem is talking about some liquid, and the liquid is being poured from one jar to another jar. Look at the letters which have been put on the first jar on top. We are seeing the repetition of the letter P. What will that bring to your mind? It will bring the concept of a liquid pouring, which can take the sound pa 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 as it is pouring. Let us now move to the poem. When you look at the sentence at the top, right over the top, we are seeing that our liquid had reached the top and was even already pouring down the jar. Bubble, bubble, froth, trouble. Bubble, bubble, froth, trouble. Bubble, bubble, froth, trouble. When I read up to there is already the use of repetition in our poem, which, remember, it is used also to show the rhythm in the poem. Is it time to stop? Plink, plink, hiss, hiss. Right up to the top. Pour me very gently. Fizzy, wheezy, pop. Liberate the carbonated. Do not spill a drop. Gurgle, gurgle, splish, splash. The poem is written by Paul Cookson. If you look at this poem, we can be able to identify some rhyming words at the end of the lines. Are you able to see them? If you look at our words, we have top, stop, top, pop, drop. Those words have the same sound, and therefore they are rhyming at the end. So it will even help us to identify the rhyming pattern of this poem. We have trouble, trouble, trouble. So the first part, top, I can give it the letter A. Trouble, trouble, trouble are the same. So we are going to have letter B. Then when you look at stop, sounds the same as stop. So it's going to have letter A. Hiss can be C. Top can go back to B because it sounds the same as stop. We are going to have gently, which can take the letter D. Then we have pop, goes back to A. Carbonated, letter E. Drop goes back to A. And splash takes letter F. That is the rhyming pattern of this poem. We can also see that these rhyming words have some concept of assonance in them, because you can see a word like top and stop. We have the short vowel sound O. Now when you also look at this poem, which other structure do you think the poet decided to use? Let us move forward and see some more explanations about it. Cont means continuation. The poem above is written in the shape of the object it represents. They didn't use any full stop or comma between words to show the continuous pouring action of the liquid in the poem. Because the water is still being poured, or the liquid is still being poured, because they want to show that continuation, they did not use any punctuation. Remember that full stop and commas are normally used to show a short pause as you're reading your poem. The poem has made use of different onomatopoeia such as gurgle, splash, splish, fizzy, hiss, among others. Onomatopoeia, we say that is the use of words that sound the same as the sound that they are describing. So this poet used a lot of it to show the sounds that maybe the liquid is making as it is being poured from the first container to the second container. Are there any rhyming words used? Can you be able to identify them? I believe that I had mentioned them when we were reading the poem, but you can still be able to go back and identify them. What is the rhyming pattern used? I was also able to mention that as we were looking at the second part of the poem. Now remember that even us as learners, we are learning to be good writers, and therefore we can be poets and write our own short poems. What is the first key thing to watch if you want to write your own poem? It is to be able to identify a topic of what you want to write. After you've identified your topic, you can decide to write your poem first, then shape it according to what you are talking about. Or you can draw the shape of what you want and write your words inside your poem. Therefore, as we move to the quiz and assignment, I believe you're going to be able to show us how creative you can be by writing your own poems. That is all for today. Let us move on to the assignments and even see how we can write our own poems. Bye. See you in our next lesson.